use those guys, and J.K. didn't have experience.
Yep.
What do you?
I still don't.
Still don't have a crystal ball?
I wasn't blessed to get one of those. I asked for Crystal, I didn't get one.
But you know what we're going to ask. I mean, how do you envision using these guys now? What's?
I don't know. We haven't really discussed that. We haven't discussed it at all as a staff, and just like anything else, we're going to do what's conducive to help us win games, and however that looks. We haven't gone over that right now. Right now, we're just playing ball, and everyone's had a good spring. Those top two guys have done a nice job.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. It just feels like the way you guys deployed them against Michigan State was probably the most successful balance, or I don't know.
And how'd that work?
It worked out pretty well. I mean, like, is that what you would ideally want every week, or why?
Yeah, like I said, it just depends on the flow of the game and how things are going, and if we go back to that week, that worked in our favor, and kind of see how it goes. It'll be a week-by-week deal, but they're both going to play, and they're both going to play a lot. How's that for a crystal ball? Okay. Does that work?
I don't know.
That sucks because I didn't give you anything you wanted.
Well, that did sound like a prediction.
Hey, Tony, when you coach a guy like Antonio Williams, he seems very upbeat given the fact that he's got two guys that are 1,000-yard rushers in front of him. What's it like coaching a kid like that, and how is it that he's maintained such a good attitude through a situation that might not be so exciting for most young kids?
Well, first and foremost, he's a pro. He's a professional about how he handles his business. He's an extremely mature kid. He has improved. I mean, he's probably, in my estimation, probably one of our top 3 guys on the team as far as improvement. That's again coming from me, and obviously I'm a little biased probably. But he's had a great spring, a great attitude, but he's a pro. He handles his business, and at the end of the day, that's all you can do is do the best you can. And when your number's called, you show up, and that's what he's done.
I'm kind of assuming that Mike has stayed healthy this spring, and that would mean that he's been healthy for a little while now. How has he been able to take advantage of that? Because last year he started probably slower than he wanted.
Well, yeah, when you're on the field, you get reps, and so that's been a good thing for him and everyone else too, because all of a sudden his reps don't get heaped upon someone else. So, but he has, knock on wood, he's done a good job. He stayed healthy. He's really doing a good job of taking care of his body. Our doctors and trainers and our strength condition staff and coach Mick has done. They've been amazing. And Mike's followed their lead and done a nice job.
How much have you wanted to see what you have with J.K. and Mike this spring, and how much have you wanted to save them wear and tear? How much?
Well, it's a combination of both. We've seen them both together, and we've done some things where they've both been out there together. And but at the same time, they're very proven guys, and so with that being said, we don't have to beat them to death, in these situations. But they do practice, and when their numbers call, they got to be able to go. They have that.
Master Teague should probably be in high school right now. Master Teague, how's he?
Right?
Exactly. How's he coming along?
He's getting a lot of reps, and it's kind of drinking through a fire hose, if you will, that analogy. But he had a really good day today. He did have a good day today, and he's getting a ton of reps. And he's a very conscientious kid and wants to do right, and almost a perfectionist. But he's doing well. He's doing well.
Hey, Tony,
I'm happy where his progress is at.
You have very close recruitments with all the guys that are in your room, and I was just wondering, now that you're talking about Master, what's it like that first week or that first spring finally getting to coach a kid that you guys, or that you personally have gotten very close with over the recruiting process? Now, I know Master's not unique in that, but just finally getting him here, is there a shift in the relationship? Is it different? I mean, how does it, you see what I'm saying?
You'd have to ask him and ask JK and ask Tony. I recruited all those guys, so you'd have to ask
I meant from your perspective.
From my perspective, the shift is I probably ripped their ass a lot more than I did in recruiting.
But that's not part of the recruiting.
The de-recruiting. No, I don't think I'm any different, in the recruiting process than I am when I'm coaching them. And the difference is I'm around them every single day versus once a week. And but no, it's good, and it's good. You build such great relationships with people in the recruiting process, and then when you can get your hands on them every single day, we use the analogy of it's almost like your own children, and it is, because you're with them every single day, and you're able to touch them, put your hands on them, and shake them when they need it, hug them when they need it, and or the combination of the two. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm unique in that regard as far as coaching the guys when you get them. I mean, it is what it is when they get here. They're yours, and you got to care for them like they're your own.
Tony, it's a unique situation to have two running backs who both run for 1,000 yards, you know, in the same backfield, not counting the quarterback. How do you handle that going forward? What? Yeah. Well, that's what I was getting to. You guys teased us with the possible two backs being in there at the same time. I think it happened like 2 or 3 plays maybe last year. Do you have more of that in the package this year, or?
We've done some things. Yeah, we've done some things throughout the spring, and you know, we've certainly got that in the arsenal.
But how is having 2,000-yard backs back? How does that enhance the competition?
Well, those guys. First of all, again, every day is a challenge, and everyone knows it in the room. Antonio Williams. I mean, my goodness, that guy, the way he's playing.
Yeah.
So there's 3 guys that are playing at a very, very high level and know the offense. They know the expectation level as far as our culture and how we do things. They do it right. They're conscientious, and they help one another. And so it's very competitive, but it's all very high, very spirited, and they help one another.
Is there a pecking order there? Obviously, at the end of the year, J.K. was your #1 running back, and Mike went in. Is that still the order of business?
No, I don't know. We've been honest. I think we could go and we could probably chart it. They're about 50-50 right now. You know, I mean, Antonio's getting his fair share, his lion's share as well. But those two are going about 50. You know, Mike and J.K. are about even out 50-50.
And how have you seen it play out from the standpoint of the experience factor? What do you get done more this spring having 2 guys who've been 1,000-yard backs?
Well, there's, you know, in the meeting room, you know, we can go further into detail and kind of like graduate level thinking, if you will, and talk about some things. And they do a great job. You know, we get them on the board, and they're talking a lot and talking to one another, and so it's more interactive versus me having to lecture or teach them. There's very interactive room because they know, and so we can kind of go a little deeper. You know, we'll make a call here. So what else could we do? And they can go to the what's next. So that's fun to be around the guys that know the offense, and so it's good. And it helps Master out a lot too, because we've got 3 experienced guys in there.
Tony, you guys were really successful last year, obviously, with the running backs having 2 1,000-yard rushers the way that you did. I was wondering, in an effort to always improve, did you guys ever take a look, or do you ever look at other teams like Georgia and what they were able to do with 2 very good backs, 2 NFL backs, and do you like adapt or change or do anything?
Well, no, we're going to do what we do. You know, obviously, in the off-season, we always do some off-season studies, and you study people that are doing some things you might want to look into. And so, yeah, but that's not just Georgia and else. I mean, that's anything you're doing. You kind of evaluate what you're doing, look and say, well, here's what we could do, and who's doing X, Y, and Z out there that might be conducive to what we do, and you go and study them. That's everybody all over the country, so we're not unique there as well. But yeah, I mean, we looked into some of that.
You mentioned the quarterbacks. Has anybody stepped in? We haven't talked to anybody since last week. Has anybody stepped up at quarterback?
You have to ask the quarterback coach.
Tony, how much?
Can you get him out here?
Does the phrase like keep all the backs happy? Like,
No.
Is that part of your vocabulary,
Yeah,
or is it just win the game?
What's your name?
My name is Doug.
Doug. Okay. I'm not a kind of guy that keeps people happy. I didn't just ask my children. No, I'm not worried. Yeah, no. I'm not into keep people happy. And the guys that deserve to play are going to play. There's going to be a lot of competition. They all know it. They're going to champion each other's successes and help one another out when they're not having success. Somebody better help pick them up, because that's part of the culture of our room. And you know, we go as one goes, we all go. And it's not about keeping guys happy. Guys that produce are going to play. And guys that earn the right to play will play. And it's not about keeping people happy. You're happy when you win.
How much do we see? How much do we see J.K. and Mike on Saturday in the spring game? Are they
the spring game?
Yeah, are they the guys that will play a few and then sit out?
Yeah, they're going to play. Yeah, those guys will play in the spring game. I can't tell you how many reps.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, I'm not going to risk doing some stuff that we don't need to, but they'll be out there.